At some point in time, you've probably come across this meme.
Babe, please stop. You're not even close to being a niche internet micro-celebrity.
Yup, this one's doing numbers.
Babe, please have sex with me, I'm so horny.
One fine day.
Babe, can we please get a bed frame already?
No, if we get one, the monsters will hide under it.
Or my personal favorite.
Babe, please see a psychiatrist, you're not a detective in 80s Miami.
But what exactly is the history behind this meme? Where did it come from? How did it get popular? And more importantly, what is the manga behind it? Well, the manga is called Magical Girl Sight. Now, when you think Magical Girl, you might think of some happy-go-lucky manga. But oh boy, was I just completely wrong. This is a drama, horror, mystery, and supernatural manga, which tackles some very dark topics and very dark themes while still being a very good read. The story follows our main character, Aya Asagiri, who is a middle school student who has been constantly tormented her entire life. She is constantly and ruthlessly bullied at school, and things do not get better when she gets home. She has to endure the physical abuse from her brother, who takes it out all on her to relieve his stress due to the high expectations that his father puts on him. And one day, she finds a very mysterious website with a terrifying person on it who is known as an administrator. The administrator seems to sympathize with Aya and seems to feel sorry for her and just how misfortunate her life has been up until this point. So the administrator announces that she's going to give Aya magical powers, and it's up to her to use the magical powers as she sees fit. And the very next day at school, as she opens her locker, she sees a toy gun, and this is her stick. This is what allows her to use her magical powers. And not too long after receiving the toy gun, she is cornered by bullies at school who also brought someone to quote-unquote play with her, if you catch my drift. And with having nothing else to lose, Aya decides to use her mysterious new weapon and fires the gun, immediately teleporting all the bullies away. But little did she know she had teleported the bullies onto the train tracks, where they proceeded to immediately get ran over by a train. Now, whenever Aya uses her powers, she gets really long blood red hair, her eyes start to bleed, and a mysterious tattoo appears on her arm. And every time she uses her stick, which is her toy gun, a little bit of the tattoo disappears, and her tattoo is basically her life force. So every time she uses this power, her life force drains just a little bit. And the story from here on out is Aya meeting up with more and more magical girls who all have their own different sticks and all have their own different powers. And these magical girls all try to come together to figure out what exactly is happening, what's the point behind this mysterious site that has a countdown leading up until Tempest, which they have little to no information to go on, but everything seems to hint that it's going to be some end of the world-esque scenario. So they try to unravel the mystery behind the whole magical girls site, fighting other magical girls, fighting other humans that get their hands on a stick, giving them the magical girl powers, trying to unravel the mystery behind the different administrators. And all while this is happening, Aya is doing her best to protect her new friends and doing her damnedest to make sure she does not lose her new friends, which she values more than anything. And I don't want to spoil too much of it because it's a really, really good story, and there's a lot of twists and turns, and there's a lot of things that you learn as the story goes through, and I don't really want to ruin that for any of you. But it's a really good read about a bunch of girls whose lives have been absolutely terrible, who have been given magical powers and have to fight every day of their life just to survive. So if that's the manga behind the meme, where does this picture come from? Well, this picture is actually in chapter 103, and this is more towards the end of the manga. In this chapter, spoiler alert, Aya comes to the realization that the people that she had thought had been her parents all this time were actually her adoptive parents. Her father and mother are not her real father and mother, and her adopted father basically comes out and says, "I don't love you, get out of my house, you're not my real kid." And this all comes at a point where she's trying desperately to save them because she knows that imminent death is on its way. And so all of these emotions well up inside of her at once, and thus you get this image. And in this manga, this is not the first time you see her crying like this. I believe she actually cries like this in 2 other chapters, one fairly early on in the manga, and then one like a couple chapters literally right after this. So how exactly did this one panel of this manga become a meme? Well, it all started in 2018 when a user on Tumblr had just posted the manga panel with nothing else, gaining over 4,100 likes and reblogs in 2 years. Now, the "Babe Please Stop" meme actually came from a different one. It is the evolution of a previous meme, because the first time, as far as we can tell, that this was ever used in a meme was on February 24th of 2020, when the infamous "Sorry for having a tight juicy pussy, it's not my fault" was posted. And from February to October, you would see many more memes similar to this without the Giga Chat in it until October 17th of 2020, when 2 of the earliest memes based on this format were posted on all things on Facebook. And then later that same day, with this new format, someone had posted on Reddit, gaining over 21,400 upvotes in the r/dank meme subreddit. And then from that point, just as every other meme seems to do, it caught on fire and was overused almost immediately. Now, this meme was not as popular as it was back in its day, but it's still pretty popular with it popping up every now and then. But now that I know the background story behind this image, I look at this meme a little bit differently. Knowing all the hardships that this main character has been through in the Magical Girl Sight manga, I just can't seem to look at these memes the same way I did prior to knowing everything that I do now. It kind of ruins the immersion for me just a little bit. So that has been the history behind the Babe Please Stop meme. It all started from a manga known as Magical Girl Sight, and then because of a Facebook post and a Reddit post, it took over the internet by storm and gave us the classics like this. I just really like the Miami Vice one. That's my favorite. So if you guys know of any more memes that involve manga stuff, let me know. I think this stuff is fascinating. Internet history like this is very interesting to learn about. So let me know down there below in the comments. Also hit that like button, subscribe, bell notification. That's it. Peace.